Hey, I am back again today. In, oh, that actually a very loud sound. Uh, anyways, uh, I went through and changed one of my party members here. Uh, got rid of Raven and put Magnus in. Went back and did all the crafting stuff that I needed to redo yesterday for that. Getting ready to set up for the final area of the game. Brought one extra weapon along in case things get broken, and um, made a bunch of healing materials. And otherwise, just gonna go through these cutscenes and then finish things off.
I chose it so I wouldn't have to entertain fools. Leave me be.
Now, calm down. I'm not here to bother you. I'm looking for a grave, or and who might you be? Let's ask him who he is.
I'm no one of importance. Just an old soul who wishes to be left alone. As I have already asked of you, I might point out.
No, he's friendly, isn't he? Well, you can point me towards Nazaridan's grave, then.
Ah, searching for the great Nazaridan. Ah, the great Nazaridan. What was so great about him? Damn fool, if you ask me.
Well, you seem fairly bitter towards the old chap.
How dare you, old man? Do you have any idea what you're talking about? Nazaridan was the wisest and most benevolent elf in the history of Arcanum. He saved us all, and that includes you. So I recommend you keep your comments to yourself.
Oh, thank you, Virgil. Sticking your foot in your mouth again.
Oh? And you think you know about Nazaridan, young man? Who are you to tell me about that old worthless elf?
Worthless? Why, I ought to... No, I'm not going to sink to your level, man. Nazaridan would have had more patience with men of your kind, and so will I. I don't have to defend him.
Funny listening to Virgil talk about Elf Jesus here.
Oh, of course you don't have to defend him, young man. The old elf was completely incorrigible.
The tooltip already spoiled his name.
Individuals of such low caliber as he. You've chosen well not to waste your words on the likes of Nazaridan.
I think you spoil it again. I don't know where my mouse is when I click.
You're testing my patience, old man.
No.
Another bad word about Nazaridan, and it might just be the last one you say on both feet. Do we understand one another?
Your robes. They remind
Yeah, there we
me
go.
of someone I once met many years
Oh, I found the
ago.
tooltip.
I can't remember the young man's name. He was part of some religion. The Panari, I think it was called. Are you also of the Panari, young man?
Yes. I am of the Nari. I am Virgil, a new acolyte, but strong in my beliefs. Who are you?
Oh, audio echo. One sec. Maybe if I volume a little bit more.
You call yourself one of the defenders, and you don't know who I am?
Alright. Alright. So, yeah, he pierces Virgil. Fierce gaze. Listen again.
Oh my. Master, please forgive me. I didn't know. I mean, I thought you had been reborn. Greetings, great Nazaridan.
Okay, so, like, this whole time, Virgil thinks we are Nazaridan's reincarnation, and now he sees the actual one, and his mind is blown. So now he's got Jesus and his assumed reincarnated elf Jesus as well. That's always fun. Give him another crisis of faith, hopefully.
I would say in all my glory, but I'm afraid I haven't any left.
You're Nazaridan. You saved the world from Aranax.
No. I delivered the world to Aranax. I put in place the system that he felt was his for the taking. I even imparted my elven arrogance to him. I must bear full responsibility for his actions.
A bit dramatic, don't you think? Aronnax's actions were his own.
You do not understand. He was my son. I taught him everything. Only to see him be carried away by his youthful temper. I should have seen it. There must have been a way to stop him before it came to what it did.
So, I've heard all the legends. Can you tell me what really happened? So, finally, we maybe get the truth between, like 5 different versions so far.
It started in the Age of Legends. I was young, headstrong. I thought I could take on the world, and I did. I fought the good fight to protect the lesser races, as I arrogantly called them, from the chaos that raged everywhere. Dragons, demons, evil sorcerers, I fought them all and won. And this, all before even the days of the Elven Council.
How did the Elven Council come?
I gathered a group of idealistic mages together, and we created an Elven Council, for the good of all. I really believe that. For a time, I suppose it was even true. I really believe things began to change when we discovered a way to banish things from this plane of existence.
Now, why would that change things?
It was the ultimate weapon. Once something was banished from this plane of existence,
Fixing
it
a
could
chair.
never return. With ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility and ultimate corruption. We were quick to use it on new and ever more terrible threats. The Bane of Kree, Krakatur, Gorgoth, Kurgan.
Hey, we've seen a bunch of Kurgan stuff so far. That's fun. And we have Krakatur's Eye in our inventory right here. So how did Aronnax fit into all of this?
Sometime during all this heroic carnage, my son came of age. I quickly ushered him into the council, amidst some of the others' protest about his young age and inexperience. And then it all came crashing down upon me. Look, are you certain you really want to hear all this self-pitying drivel?
Yes, I really want to hear all the exposition. So, of course, what did Aronnax actually do that was so terrible?
He had taken it upon himself to keep the balance, as he termed it. He believed that being a member of the council validated any course of action he chose to pursue. This meant attacking anything he saw as a threat, such as a city that had begun building advanced technological devices. Vendegroth, it was called.
Oh, right, we read all those newspapers in Vendegroth about how Aronnax came and dropped a nuke on the city.
He warned them to cease their destructive behavior and destroyed one of their factories to underscore his point. Justifiably afraid for their very lives, they swiftly constructed a device that could destroy even the most powerful wizard. He responded by calling on forces that few of us had ever seen, and wiping not just the city, but the whole province of Vendegroth from the face of Arcanum with one blow. He felt himself betrayed when the council condemned his actions. He showed no remorse. In his arrogance, he was sure he would be vindicated. I cast the deciding vote to banish my own son. If I must die, I will be the last, he screamed as he hurled the spell that brought an end to the council, the Age of Legends, and my will to live. It was a harsh dawn that morning on the plains of Brodgar, and it was there in the shadow of the Black Spire that our armies met in the most terrible battle that Arcanum has ever seen.
Actual animation.
As the sun set, only 4 of us were still alive to witness the destruction we had brought to pass. I found Aronnax among the corpses of our decimated armies, and it was there that I condemned my own son to the void.
versus 1 hardly seems fair.
In the end, it was only through our combined might that Aranax was subdued, and I watched my own son fall into the horror of the void. But such was the fury and power unleashed by this conflict that the very fabric of reality was torn asunder. With our remaining energy, we were able to seal the rift with powerful wards, and the Ring of Brodgar still stands today as a monument to my son's destructive pride and my own unforgivable failure.
When I regained consciousness, I was on the shore of Thanatos. I'd regained just enough energy to seal myself in a regenerative shell. I remained that way for 1,000 years. No one had ever stayed in a shell for anywhere near that amount of time. Somehow, my magical hibernation extended my life much beyond that of even the most powerful elven mages.
Somehow. Let's see. Well, let's see. Why have you hidden yourself here for 1,000 years? I need your help. He's coming back. Are you aware that there's a religion worshipping you? Or can you tell me about the others? Let's tell him the story last. Why have you hidden yourself here?
The world out there is not mine. It only serves to remind me of my failure. Everyone I knew, everything I held dear is gone. I myself should have died long ago. Besides, I do not fancy being worshipped as a god.
Well, I guess we can have a shared laugh because they think I'm his reincarnation.
I pity you, then. I received a taste of their hero worship from Mannix, and I can tell you I didn't like the taste of it one bit.
Well, interesting point of view. We did read about his meeting with Mannix in the journal the other day.
Hold on there. Do you two realize exactly what you're talking about here? Perhaps this is an interesting philosophical debate for you two, but we're talking about the foundations of the Panari religion here.
Yeah, sorry, Virgil. Your religion is all a lie. I don't think now's the time.
I mean, if you're not dead, that means you're not his reincarnation. Where the bloody hell does that leave the rest of us? Are any of the prophecies true? Have all of us Panari just been running around half-cocked for the last 2,000 years?
Yeah, Virgil, that's exactly what's happened.
Easy, young Virgil. I know how all of this must make you feel, and I apologize for making light of your beliefs. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers you're seeking.
He's sorry, Virgil. What's that?
I mean no disrespect, Nasruddin, but if you don't have any idea as to what's going on here, then you'll forgive me if I'm having a few doubts concerning the validity of my newfound religion.
Newfound. Yeah. Sucks for him.
Good, Virgil. If there is one thing in life that one must learn, it is to question everything. In the end, I'm sure you will have the answers that you seek. And whether or not this is all the fulfillment of a prophecy or just random chance, does it change the gravity of our situation? Would you do anything differently if you knew one way or the other?
No, I wouldn't. And I will see this until the end, regardless of the reasons behind it. Thank you, Nasruddin. At the very least, your wisdom warrants a religious movement, even if its followers tend to be a bit soft in the head.
So at least Virgil has finally accepted that we are not his reincarnation, like we've been telling him basically the entire game. Alright, so in touch, listen to Nasruddin, tell him about Aranax. I guess I was hoping we could do that last, but oh well.
I feel as if I've been waiting to hear those words since I awoke those many years ago. I had hoped it would never come to this. Why, Aranax? Why can't you see the folly of the path you've chosen? What are you going to do about this situation?
Say please don't involve me in your family troubles. Or, yeah, he's your son, what are you gonna do?
I fear there is nothing I can do. I am old, tired. I do not believe I could stand up against my son now, even if I could find the heart to try.
No, I mean, he's what, only like 30, 40 years younger? Shouldn't he be just effectively just as old when you're talking about thousands of years? So yeah, how is he so powerful?
We do not know what life in the void is like, if it can be even called life. Who knows what sources of power could be found on the other side?
How do I stop him?
I can think of only one possible strategy to defeat him now. You must retrieve the Vendergroth device that was meant to destroy him.
Oh, this thing right here in our inventory is that device. So we already have it.
That is fortuitous indeed. All that remains now is for you to be banished to the void.
They're gonna banish me.
Certainly. If we were to wait for Aranax to breach the wards, I fear the loss of life would be immeasurable.
Alright, well, once again, I'll clean up everyone else's mess.
The irony of all this is not lost on myself. One might almost believe the prophecies to be true. It does appear that you are instrumental in halting this cataclysm. If only this were not necessary. I had hoped if Aranax ever returned, he would have realized the error of what he had done.
Judging from my encounter with him, I'd say he had not.
Yes, yes. It is obvious to me that he has committed himself to a path which can only end in his destruction.
Alright, so if I need to be banished, I will do it.
You must meet me at the site of the wards, the Ring of Broadguard, as they are now known. The barrier between the worlds is thin enough there for me to be able to send you across by myself. I would suggest that you bring as much help as you can recruit, as it will be no easy task to defeat Aranax.
Alright, so before I do this, give me more exposition.
What is it that is troubling your thoughts?
Tell me about the others that were banished.
Whose tale of woe would you like to have recounted?
How about Gorgoth?
Gorgoth's is a simple tale, though disturbingly common in the Age of Legends. He was a mindless beast with an insatiable appetite. He had a liking for halflings, if I recall correctly. Bringing him low took quite a fierce battle, though a mindless one. He could think of nothing to do with him, so he banished him to the void to keep him from wreaking any more havoc.
I don't remember entirely, but I think this text changes based on your player race. So since I'm a halfling, he says halfling. I could be wrong on that. Alright, other
What is it that
questions?
is troubling whose tale of woe
Tell me about
would you like
Kurgan.
to have recounted? Kurgan was a member of the council, the only human one, in fact. He was a dabbler, he was, always experimenting and searching for new magics. His discovery of the necromantic arts was the beginning of the end for him. The council took a dim view of magics that had the ability to manipulate the very life force of a being, and we bade him to stop any further inquiries in that area.
I'm assuming he didn't.
He totally disregarded our warnings and continued his ghastly experiments. Aranax was assigned to investigate, and turned up the rather disturbing details. Kurgan had been stealing corpses and experimenting with their life forces. What was infinitely more disturbing to me, though, was the vehemence of Aranax's drive to have Kurgan banished rather than simply exiled.
Why did Aranax's attitude trouble you?
Our mission was to impartially judge, to rule for the common good, regardless of our personal feelings. Aranax did not even attempt to hide his hatred of Kurgan. Worse, I always suspected that Aranax's hate was based more on the fact that Kurgan was a human on the Elven Council than on the facts of the case.
So, like everyone else in this game, Aranax is also a racist. That's nice. Good for him. Glad to see he's, no different than any other one of these villains. I do not think Kurgan's crimes warranted his banishment.
I believe our decision was the correct one. It is just that there is a proper way to conduct oneself, and Aranax was neither unbiased nor objective. I began to have serious misgivings about his membership on the council after this. The whole Vendigroth situation exploded shortly afterwards, before I could come to a decision about Aranax's role on the council.
Alright. How is Kurgan experimenting?
Kurgan was pulling their spirits back from the other side to attempt to communicate with them, experimenting in different ways to perfect his resurrection magic, and worst of all, casting their life force out of the bodies once again. What is it that is troubling your thoughts? Whose tale of woe would you like to have
What about
recounted?
Krakatoa?
Krakatoa was a conniving coward who found a way to turn himself into a twisted monster, half man and half dragon. In this form, he terrorized cities and villages, killing their inhabitants and burning them to the ground. After a colossal battle and his defeat at the hands of the council, he cried and begged us not to banish him. Pathetic. What is it that is troubling your thoughts?
Anyone
Whose
else?
tale of woe would you like to have recounted?
Bane of Kree.
The Bane of Kree. Bringing him to justice was what established my reputation as a warrior, which eventually led to legends surrounding me which I had no control over. The Bane was a nomad warrior who was able to gather together nearly all the ancient nomadic tribes and create a vicious army out of them. I became involved when he slaughtered the army of Kree.
And what happened?
His legendary courage failed him. When faced with certain defeat, he lost his mind and fled back to Kree. He had his army slaughter every man, woman, and child in his desperation. I do not know what he hoped to accomplish by this. When I caught up with him, I was overcome by a bit of the madman myself. I banished him single-handedly in my fury, which is not an easy thing to do, even then.
Alright. Well, I am going to go to Ventboro. Or, I'll just have a conversation. We're actually going to go to Roseboro. There is an alternate way to do this as well. If we wanted to be evil, we could actually kill Nazardin right now and then use the Ventigroth device on him. But I'm not going to do that. Mostly because his description of Krakatoa kind of reminds me of Kaido in One Piece. So, I don't want to. Staff does have a unique graphic, though. I'm kind of curious about it. Yoink. Or I can fail. Give me. Come on. A master pickpocket. How can I fail this much? Maybe it's not that unique now that I look at the icon. We'll go ID it, then sell it. Oh, where's it? It's an ID. Here. And then after that, we will go over to and get banished. Oh, the other reason I switched from Raven to Loghair here is I didn't want to go around and gather a bunch of arrows. It's just, we just go through them too quick. And there's no way to replenish them once you get banished. Otherwise, I probably would have still kept her. Idiot. I mean, that's a pretty cool staff. It's not really that high on magic affinity needed. Giving 50 mana is really strong. Plus, 2 spells. Actually, a really nice weapon. Wonder what happens if I give it to, like, one of the ogres. Will they equip it? No. Okay. Sparrow. And the banishment is... Where is it? There it is. Do miss out on an extra cutscene with Raven here by not having her in the party, but whatever. I wonder if he's a technically different NPC if he has different items here. He does. So he is. The game doesn't actually move him. He's just a different one. So I could get a second staff if I wanted. Mostly I'm just curious here if it's the exact same item. And I mean, I have the fate points, so why not? And what I want to do to actually win the game is to use persuasion. That way I can talk no jutsu the final villain, and that means I don't really need combat skills or to rely on any of these like these fate point things here. Worst case scenario is I might need fate points to repair if some of my gear gets really messed up, but that seems pretty unlikely. Yeah, exact same item. There are a whole bunch of side quests I could still do, but it's just, I don't know, they're not really worth doing. I did the fun ones. That's not like we're going for 100% completion.
Are you prepared to face Arcanum?
Yes, I am prepared.
May your gods accompany you to the other side and help you to stop Aranax.
Yeah, they better, or we're all in trouble. Also, I think I'm technically my own god here. Alright. Somehow there's a patch of grass. And we have all the same void monsters that were in that one guy's workshop early in the game. Which means I do actually have to watch out for the for like flying jellyfish creatures. And they will damage your armor if they hit you. I'm gonna stand here while my character, like my guys, just kill everything for me. I do want to make sure that. What's his name? Okay, yeah, Loghair did level up. Wasn't sure if I used a leveling book on him or not. I guess it's too late if I didn't. Maybe I should have brought more revive items with me. I only have one. There's this portal and this portal. I don't remember the way through this. I just kind of remember that it's a maze. Okay, so the particles going down there must mean it's a like receiving one. When they go up, it sends you somewhere. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use turn-based for these. I think they're gonna do the same thing as the other ones did. That will ruin my armor. So I want to minimize the chance, like the time that they have to hit me. So far, none have hit me, which is pretty good.
Good show! Perhaps they'll think twice before attacking us again, eh?
I am awed by your abilities. Let the blood flow.
That one was very low chance of success to hit. Wonder why it was only in the 70s. I was in 72 as well. I don't think I'm getting a lighting penalty. Whatever. They're all dying. And it's not NPC type because these are the same type, same level. I wonder if it's the angle I'm shooting at. So I can go through here, and I think it lets me meet some of the characters, because you can actually find all of those legends that Nazruddin was talking about, just all hanging out in the void here. You can actually make them join your party if you're evil enough. And one of them, you actually, if you want to do the total pacifist playthrough, you have to actually bring one of them in as a mind-controlled guy. One, because I'm trying to shoot around my characters. Look at that. It's fine though. They can do whatever. Melee is so much stronger. And look, there's Aranax.
Many thanks for releasing me from my horribly lengthy incarceration, sir.
That voice is not the same as the Aranax we met earlier. Released you. What are you talking about? I'm here to kill you.
Now, why would you want to do that?
Yeah, appearing to me and threatening my life is probably a good starting point.
I did no such thing. I've been here for ages. Do you really think I could reach across the void to torment you?
Well, if you're not doing this, who is? Tell him your story.
Being that I'm trapped in here, my opportunities to get information are, shall we say, a bit limited. On the rare occasion Kurgan has deigned to visit me to play his intellectual games, he has dropped some veiled clues that might make sense in light of what you've told me. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say Kurgan is impersonating me.
Oh, Kurgan. What a surprise. Clearly, not the guy who we've been seeing just traces of his villainy all game. What end?
It sounds as if these dark elves you mentioned have patterned themselves after the misguided philosophy of my youth. They are proving to be powerful allies in his quest to return to Arcanum, it seems. I doubt they will be willing to help Kurgan the Terrible return to exact his revenge.
Kurgan. The Kurgan you had banished.
Yes. When I first came here and realized what he was becoming, I attempted to stop him. Our battle was intense, yet brief. As you can see, I was not the victor.
Why didn't he kill you?
He wasn't powerful enough. He held me with this binding magic when I was regenerating. It looked as if I was correct as to the effects of his experimentation, though. His dark magics have transformed him hideously, in body and spirit.
Alright, so Kurgan is the one who needs to die.
I could not agree more. Let us join together to remove his vileness from both worlds.
Yeah, I can always use more help.
Let us send Kurgan off to that death he finds so compelling, shall we?
Oh, wow, he actually joined. He must not count as an actual party member. How do we find him?
I do not know. There is a portal in the room behind me. Perhaps we can use it to travel to the other parts of the void.
Cool, let's go. I didn't think he would join.
What may I do for you?
Let's take a look at his character stuff. Level 50, I mean, he's completely neutral, so it's not going to make anyone mad. Too bad I don't have an educator tome on me. I could actually make him good. He has no leveling scheme either, so I can do whatever with him. What's he have for magic? Fireballs, electric, I mean, that's a really good school for offense. Like, being this great mage, he really kind of sucks, though. Like, I mean, Shield of Protection is an amazing spell. Jolt is good. I mean, otherwise, it really has nothing. I guess his willpower is nice. What about his inventory? Oh, you know what? We stole those staffs. Maybe he can use one of them. No armor. No weapon. Here, take one. In light of that, let's actually go back up. I wonder if I can grab the other monsters, or like banished guys, as party members. That should be maxed out on my 6. Since log here isn't showing as a photo, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then log here 6. And Raven wouldn't join when I had log here in, saying I had too many already. Okay, so it just takes me back here for now. So I guess I do have to actually just go deeper in to collect those other guys. All right. There was like 2 non-violent ways to get into Aranax's room. We could have just, I think we could talk to the snake. Then he also carries a key on him that you can steal. This probably takes me back to Aranax. So right here, I think these 2 guys are the ones that are the only actual must-kill NPCs in the entire game. If I remember right. Try the passage. Yeah, you can't get in. You have to kill these 2 to enter. That's the only actual like required combat in the whole game. There is actually a way around it where you can trick some of these other things around here to attack them for you. Love seeing Aranax just stand here. He's gonna get pummeled at some point, I'm sure. And the great part is, no one has any ability to heal him except maybe Virgil. And I mean, I can't even see his hit point bar, so if he does get hit, he's probably just gonna die. Skip my turn. My other characters can finish these guys off. Go get him, dog. Best party member in the game. So that teleporter looks like it's a way back. So there's probably one over here to go somewhere. No? This one work? Go somewhere anyways? Oh, it does. Okay. Okay, well, I was just totally wrong on how they work then. Oh, good, they're not damaging my armor. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it on real time. And if Aranax dies, he dies. Oh, here we go. Krakatur. That's what I was looking for, because I want to give him his eye if I can. Who dares disturb the mighty Krakatur? Oh, I mean, for being like one of these hyped legendary villains, he's not even important enough to get voice acting. What's that say about his legacy? Even Magnus has voice acting. Well, I suppose that would be me. Dreadfully sorry about that. Sorry? Do you have any idea the powers I can bring to bear against you? The wrath of Krakatur knows no bounds. See, I'm very sure. Perhaps I could ask you a few questions, O Mighty One. Yes, very sure. Listen, I need some help. Wait, you said Krakatur, I read your journal. What, my journal? You mean my last testament? Where did you get that? I'll tell him. That was still in the lair of Belgram after all these years. Wait, I don't quite remember what I wrote. That was the eve before my glorious battle against the Nazridan and Elven Council. What a great battle it was. Let's see. Nazridan painted a different picture, or strange. Your journal had the taint of cowardice. Or I'm sure it was, mighty Krakatur. Will you help me? I'm sure it was. Let's flatter him. Well, let's not rush into things. I mean, this is Kurgan the Terrible we're talking about. Not that I will have any trouble dispatching him, of course. For I am Krakatur, the ruination of the past, present, and future. Yes, please. What do you say? Payment for my services. Do you think I would come to your rescue without some sort of offering? You must pay your respects. Krakatur exacts a heavy toll. Entire villages have been sacrificed to appease me. Yeah, I have your eye right here. What? My eye? How in the name of the gods did you come across that? I'll tell him again. Interesting. I should kill you just for bringing it back to me. For I am awesome Krakatur. Maidens tremble when they hear my name. I roam the nightmares of young children. Do you have a deal or not? Yes, I suppose. I've been missing my eye for quite a while. I suppose I could take it in payment for my services against this madman. Will join me. Krakatur will not travel with so many mortals. Okay. Tell me a bit about yourself. Alright, let's see if he has anything I want to kill him for. He has no items. His level is awful. I can't level him up. And he won't travel with me. So the only thing he is good for is experience. Did we get that for putting him down? Nope. Who's this one? Human Bandit. Okay, this must be Bane of Kree. This man has a look of fierce warrior. His heavily muscled body is covered in scars and tattoos. He sniffs the air as you approach. A fresh arrival, eh? You still have the smell of the world on you. Yeah. So who are you? I've been known by many names, but the only one that matters to me now is the Bane of Kree. This is the name I was known by when I wielded power over men. Yeah, how about Bane? Or can I just use Mr. Kree? And reputation went down. That's nice. He is on you faster than you can imagine with a blade at your throat. Do not mock me, it will be your last mistake. Alright, Noah push his blade away. What were we talking about? I like a man of courage. Not many can face my sword without sniveling for mercy. I want your help to kill Kurgan. Kurgan, he spits. I welcome the chance to slit his throat, but after what he did, what did he do? Looks away in shame. He defeated me in battle soon after he arrived here. After delivering the killing blow, he brought me back to life to taunt me. I have waited long years for the chance to make him pay for that. Yeah, I know the feeling. Why don't you join me? Why should I join with you? What do you have to offer me? I will bring you back to Arcanum with me afterwards. I have too many people. Alright then. Die. Your nose is ticklish or something. This sword actually, one of the guys we could have taken earlier as a party member, that really evil guy who we revived, he does something where, like, if he gets the sword, he goes through, like, some sort of transformation. But it does lead to him, like, a really bad ending. I think he returns and kills basically everyone in the world with it. So I think Gorgoth might be the only monster left that we haven't killed. I could have gone back through the path that I came from without having to run all the way back around here. I also don't really care about killing Gorgoth, to be honest. I don't want to try and find him. Let's just do that. This is probably going to end up being another vendor chest, since everything else has been. Oh, it can also just be locked. Can I unlock it? Wow, critical fail and it jammed instantly. Put it that way. Yep, vendor chest. I guess Aranax can take some of this stuff. I don't even know what to give him because it's all unidentified. He had some strength and dex. You can probably wear chainmail without an issue. I can also give him the plate mail. Just watch, I'm giving like cursed items. That'd be amusing. I'm just kind of picking here by what looks like it might not be cursed. And I have absolutely no idea what those would be. Alright, Aranax. Oh. Wrong person. Okay. won't wear the chain? Or the shield? Alright then. He can have a robe. And a different shield. And also just give him that sword. I know it's at least magical. How won't he equip anything? Are they not the right size? Pretty dumb. Robe, those are mediums. He's an elf. He should be wearing medium. Whatever. If he doesn't want to wear his armor, that's on him. Maybe he will wear that. Last thing I'm going to try. Oh. Okay. He can just go without any armor then. Oh, fire elemental. I have to actually be serious now. Oh, shoot. Missed the shot and got a second one to spawn. Hopefully I go before they attack too much. Don't hit the fire elementals, dummies. Oh, 70% to kill it. Nope. Hopefully I don't lose too much equipment here. Alright, what's the damage? Okay, not too bad. Another teleporter. Before I use it though, let's kill these guys. I'm gonna have them all focus on this one. Hopefully they can kill these things before we get overwhelmed with fire elementals again. Good spot for this elementals to spawn because no one's pathing over to them to hit them. I guess the elemental won't despawn until, yeah, it's next combat round. Alright, well. Not the worst. Not the best either. And everything is attacking me on sight here, but probably could have snuck around it all if I wanted to. I was trying to be a little more sneaky in this game. least these ones are just necromancers instead of fire elementals. Have to deal with a few zombies. It's weird that my accuracy is so low in here, though. 69% hit is really bad. Oh, I'm gonna leave turn base. No reason to be in it here. It's locked. I have decent pick lock skill. It's kind of all right. Crystal salvage. Alright. Let's not even bother trying to lockpick. Some boots in that one. Full vendor chest in that one, so I can actually I can replace some of my gear if it gets destroyed. Not all of it. Some of it at least. I have boots. I don't have any bullets. They give me gun parts. I do have a pyrotechnic axe, worst case scenario. Especially with the gun, because I do still have my melee mastery that I'm just not using out of principle. Alright, well, I think this is the portal to get back out. Okay. I know. Whole bunch of dead dwarves. I wonder if Log here will say anything about him. He sees the bodies.
What is it you need?
That's more
What
questions.
do you want to know?
We're in the void. Quite bizarre, right?
I know we're meant to be searching out Aranax, but we must not forget about the Black Mountain clan. Only if I can find a way to return them to Arcanum will I feel I have begun to repay them for my grievous error.
Well, found your clan, or their clan, all dead. Oh, look, torture devices. That's pleasant. Was there a key I was supposed to have looted somewhere that I just didn't get? Talk to the dwarves. Someone from the other side has come. Who are you? I am Grenjar Silverhammer. Tell me, did Stennar reach you? Yes, but he died before he could tell me what was happening. Stennar, he hangs his head, look for a moment. How did he die? In a Zeppelin crash. What the hell is a Zeppelin? It's an airship, a boat that flies suspended under a large balloon. What? I've never heard of such a thing. How is it possible? The world has changed greatly since you've been there. No doubt driven by dwarven ingenuity and technological advances. I mean, it was dwarven ingenuity in a sense until Bill Gates there stole everything. Let's see, after Bates' engine, the humans began developing machines. So, our folly haunts us once again. If only we had harnessed that boy's ideas of what might have been. Well, that is of no consequence now. we hadn't made some error in judgment the Dark Elves could exploit, another clan would have. Tell me what happened. Dark Elves had been lying in wait, looking for a way to bring some dwarves over to this side. They knew that technology would eventually weaken the wards to the point of failure, but they decided to accelerate the process. They needed the machine to open the rift back up by distorting the already weakened wards. An elf couldn't make a machine to save his life. Then Bates made a steam engine. Exactly. King Loghair should be able to fill you in on the rest, the bitterness in his voice barely disguised. That's nice. He doesn't even notice the king's standing right here with us. Good writing. He was the one that they convinced to banish us. We were shocked to say the least, but our king had spoken. He bows his head. We were told our banishment was to the Isle of Despair, but this is where we ended up. I can assure you, King Loghair had no idea of their true intent. He thinks for a moment, responding, of course, you're right. Our king would never betray us knowingly. Loghair nods grimly and silently. I'll continue with your tale. As soon as we arrived here, we were beaten mercilessly and thrown in chains. As our work progressed on the gate, Stenner formulated a plan. As soon as the gate had any functionality, he would go through and attempt to warn the other side. We knew that his absence would be noticed and that they would try to stop him. Oh, please go on. He began preparations to disguise himself as a gnome. He starved himself to the point of sickness. When the gate was near ready, he shaved his beard. He believed that the full responsibility for what had befallen us was his, and he would do whatever he thought was necessary to make things right, even that. Well, what happened after he went through? They tortured some of the clan to force us to reveal his plans, but we wouldn't break. We knew they needed us to finish the gate, and we had been disabling the gate in various ways for months. So, getting World War II Germany vibes here. With all the, sabotage, malicious compliance, all that. Good stuff. For all they knew, we still had months ahead of us to finish the thing when we could have been finished months before. And then they killed half the clan in a last effort to force us to talk. We still did not break, and now we are all that is left of our once great clan. So they killed half. But I see 5 guys alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's a lot more than... These guys were engineers. You would think they would know that, 5 is a lot less than half. Alright, well, I will return to free you when I've killed those responsible. Or, it serves you right, you arrogant dwarf, you're gonna rot here. I'll return to free you. Splendid. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Off turn-based. Oh goody, an unlocked door this time. I love that these things can just pummel on me and I don't even feel it. Aranax must have taken some damage there, though. Heals were firing off.
Greetings.
Oh.
Long have I waited for your arrival, and finally this moment has come. I am Kurgan, first of the Necromancers, Voyager in the lands of the dead.
I thought there was going to be more here than this. Alright, well... This might take a couple of tries to go through. I guess I might have to reload and do another quick save. This doesn't work on my first try. You need like very specific dialogues for this. Because my goal here is I don't want to kill this guy with combat and the Vendigroth device. Instead, I want to pull a Naruto and kill him with just persuasion, and essentially convince him to kill himself rather than have to fight me. And so yeah, he's going to kill himself to end the conversation if I do this correctly. I see. Not exactly the person I originally expected.
I would think not. Although the presence of Aranax tells me you already know much of my tale. At least as much as he deemed necessary in order to bring you into his confidence.
Well, I heard his side of the story. Tell me yours.
My life in the world you call Arcanum seems so very distant. The memories clouded like those of a child, and a child I was then, probing the darker magics, given glimpses of the truths yet to come.
The council, were they right about the magics? Look at you.
Yes, look at me, and what do you see? A monster, an abomination. You've no idea what I've discovered. You see with eyes tainted by life, and all which that accursed state embodies. My vision is clear because of those magics you hold in disdain, and the council. It is they I have to thank for it.
Okay, but they punished you. Why would you thank them?
In your world, your Arcanum, I was powerful. Perhaps the most powerful human magicka who has ever been. But to humans, cursed with our shortness of life, our brevity, what is this power? What can be learned in that impermanent spark that is our lives? Nothing. But here, in this so-called prison, there are no limits. There is no end.
No limits, no end. Alright, so I don't understand.
This
Let's turn the volume up a little bit too.
void has no time as you know it. I've been here for more than 2,000 of your years, and yet I've aged not at all. I feel as I did the moment they sent me here, or as when the Dark Elves first called to me. Do you now see? Here I can do everything I did in your world, but I am unfettered by the chains of mortality that time hangs upon us.
Alright, well, let's see. Fine, stay here and leave our world be, or Dark Elves thought they were calling to Aranax.
Yes, I know. Ironic, isn't it? It was on my ears that their feeble and pathetic cries had fallen. To me, Kurgan, who had defeated their master and thrown him in chains. Kurgan, who had manipulated them into subverting the Minari and weakening the wards. Kurgan, who used them to send me the dwarves of the Black Mountain clan, who have now finished the bridge back to Arcanum.
Alright, but why? If you like it here so much, then leave us alone.
I truly wish I could. My reasons for returning aren't what you'd think. I had no aspirations for power or domination like your companion Aranax did. Aspirations that I became the victim of. No. Those are the motivations of the living, and I no longer place myself among them.
Alright, if he's not among the living, what is he? What does he want?
If only I could show you the places I've seen. I see your soul, traveler. It screams, tattered and spent. Do you feel its pull?
That's weird. Hitting my the volume messed with the
It is
cutscene.
within my power to
Alright.
calm these waters.
Alright, like his volume keeps going up and down, and I can't get it right to avoid it echoing. Alright, well, I suppose that's a different sort of way to look at things.
Hold on a moment. Might I speak with you?
Of course, Virgil.
What he is saying, it's not completely untrue. I've seen the places he speaks of, felt the peace and serenity of that great Dead Sea. It's not something I'll ever forget.
What are you saying, Virgil? Do you agree with Kurgan?
Of course not. I made my choice a long time ago, and I choose to stand with you. Yes, there is pain in life, pain and loss and sorrow. But there is also joy and the pleasures of growing and learning. You can't have one without the other, and I wouldn't want to sacrifice either. But in the end, I stand with you, whatever your choice.
Oh, that's nice, Virgil. You are standing with me as if you have a choice. Thank you, Virgil. As for you,
I
Kurgan.
can no longer tolerate the atrocities that this thing, this life has brought about. There will be peace. There will be quiet. Life will no longer be. And so I go to Arcanum to be an end to it. And then I will join the souls of the dead when it is done.
All right. Well, I see you're really quite mad, you know. An interesting point of view. I can see the merit. I have a few questions before we continue, or perhaps I can persuade you otherwise. You may be wrong. I don't think asking to persuade him just yet works. I think you need more information first.
Of course.
The Dark Elves.
The Dark Elves began calling across the void soon after Aranax had been banished. By the time their feeble cries were heard, their master was already defeated and imprisoned. Pretending I was he, I masterminded the manipulation of the Panari, coerced the Dark Elves into betraying the trusts of Logair and the Wheel Clan, and had the Black Mountain Clan sent to me.
And what's the Black Mountain Clan been doing?
The Black Mountain Clan was brought here because of the nature of technology and magic. The wards which bind the gate back to Arcanum are weakening because of the rise of technology. I've brought the dwarves here to construct a device to shatter the wards once and for all.
Let's see, more questions.
Of course.
What happened with Aranax? Just talking about him as if he's not standing next to us.
Aranax was banished here only a few years after I was. After seeing how powerful I'd become, he raised a ragged army against me. But his efforts were useless. I destroyed his army and threw him in chains. A fitting end for him, and a reward for his endless arrogance.
I kind of wonder, like, this whole void is just a wasteland. What do they do for food and water? Not all of them are mages here. Like, Bane of Kree didn't have magic. Tur didn't have magic. Do they just eat all the lizards? And if so, what do the lizards eat? Like, how do they survive? How does he have the materials to make, like, all this tech, metal, and whatever the stuff is?
Of course.
Well, how did you come to be here?
I was the first of the necromancers, and the Elven Council was displeased with my studies into the darker side of that discipline. After an inquiry into my activities, the Council was going to exile me, but Aranax, in his hatred of me, convinced them banishment was more appropriate for my so-called crimes. They banished me soon afterward.
All right, well, a few more questions then. And what is it you really want, Kurgan?
I want the end to all life. I've divined the mysteries of death and seen its truth. Death is the natural state of things, and life is a distortion of the natural order. I will put an end to it once and for all.
All right, well, a few more questions. And for now.
I can no longer tolerate the atrocities that this thing, this life has brought about. There will be peace.
I think the merit is asking him, like, say you see the merit is the actual way to convince him.
And so I go
But
to Arcanum to be an end to
I kind of want to go with persuasion. You may be wrong.
It all depends on your point of view. Take yourself, for example. You've been told from the beginning of your adventure that you're the second coming of Nasrudin, the return of the living one. Do you believe it?
Well, no, I think it's all a bunch of drivel. Of course, I plan on fulfilling it. It's not really important either way. You're going to die, or I'm not one to discount anything. But I'd be inclined to say no.
As well you should. There are no prophecies. It's just the nature of living things to want to conform their existence to a foreseeable pattern, to attempt to exert control over the chaos that surrounds them. Life by its very nature disallows this. Life is an accident, the result of random chance. Therefore, its nature can be no different.
All right, let's get to the point. What does this have to do with your insanity? Oh, that's that's just like your opinion, man.
There are those who would look at all that has happened to you, and then look at you, and call you a madman for not believing in the prophecy. Your opinion is based on what you have seen, what you know. My perceptions on the nature of life and death are no different.
Let's see, perhaps, but my opinion doesn't threaten the whole of creation. I see the validity of your position. I have to say you're correct. Now I have a few words to say. Well, let's validate them.
And why not? I realize that you follow the way of the righteous, or at least that's the role you've decided to play. But you've yet to see the other side. Follow me, and I'll show you.
No, your offer's tempting, perhaps.
Are you daft, man? Are you not listening to what this madman is proposing? He will kill every living being in both realms, including you.
Whisper to Aranax to shut up.
I think you have taken leave of your senses. I will allow you this attempt at a peaceful resolution, even though I doubt it has much hope of success.
Right now, Kurgan, I have a few words to say about this.
Splendid. I've spent the last 2,000 years developing my philosophy, but I'm always eager to hear another's thoughts.
Please proceed. All right, well, let's speak of the nature of life and death.
Yes, let us speak of this. It is my opinion that the
So
nature
I wonder, like, I bet they don't have coffee or anything in the void either. That's probably why Kurgan's gone insane.
is merely a distortion of death. What say you, traveler?
I mean, I only have my experience to draw from. It's kind of true for him as well.
Yes. But what has that experience taught you? I know not the roads you've traveled, but I do know that all living things feel pain and loss. It's my opinion that they feel these things because they were never meant for what we know as life. Their souls are not equipped for it.
Well, yeah, Kurgan, but that's based on your experience. Like, you weren't like Naruto. You didn't sit on a swing alone as a kid, watching everyone else have fun.
Yes, you're correct. I concede you that point. But I have seen both sides, whereas you have only the lands of the living. Trust me when I say that the souls who are called back to this life are in the most excruciating pain. It's unnatural.
See, this is actually kind of cool because when you use the whole conjure spirit thing, they talk about being in pain. Like, we even had that with the thief at the very start of the game when we went to the whole cave and we're like, hey, well, we will release you from that curse. And the whole time he was just complaining about everything being painful. And we're just like, yeah, you're going to live here forever now in pain and suffering. Which I wonder, since that guy is already dead, would his spirit, like, if Kurgan got his way and everyone else was wiped out, would that thief still be stuck there, like, alone? Kind of a screwed up thing to think about. Well, let's see. Maybe your opinions bias your observations. I think you're refusing to see the truth, or yes, but perhaps that is the nature of those particular souls. Let's think for a minute about this one. Our perspective is one side. He says he has seen both sides. I don't think it's his opinion bias about the observation. Nature of the souls, maybe. That might appeal to something that he doesn't yet know. I don't know. This is like one of those multiple choice questions on a test where if you don't know, you just pick the longest answer and assume it's right.
What do you mean? Are you faulting the souls of the dead for the meddlings of the living?
No, some souls are in pain because they hold on too tightly. No, but it's fate that some will suffer and some rest in peace. What if they're in pain because they're holding on too tightly?
But you speak as if these souls have a choice when they're brought back. It's the mindless bravado of the living that subjects them to the vagaries of this life.
Well, even the dead have a choice. The blame is theirs. Of course, I shouldn't come back if they want to. No, but the pain is of their own making. Maybe we can do that and then flip the idea of Kurgan's pain onto him.
I'm willing to say you might be correct. But what proof have you?
Wish I could save during this. Alright, well, what proof do I need? Your state is the only proof necessary, or I've spoken with souls who weren't in pain. This one's tough, because I did want to flip it on him, but like using him as all of the proof also kind of seems like it's a little early to do. My reaction is also down to 5. I think it used to be like 65.
That line of reasoning is weak and completely ineffectual. Perhaps our conversation is coming to an end.
I've spoken with souls who weren't in pain, so I do have a chance to save myself here.
Just because some souls have accepted the nature of this distortion doesn't justify its existence. If what you're saying is correct, then what is the nature of death? Of life? Which is the natural state? Why is there pain on one side and uncertainty on the other?
Let's see. Just because some soul, some distortion. Yeah, I mean, here we're basically just busting out the line from Silver Lady, who I guess technically is kind of like Kurgan, where she's between life and death, I suppose. We're using this line, and like this whole reasoning thing here actually kind of explains what she was seeing as well. All right, well, we'll pick it. Distortion is caused by the eyes with which we choose to see.
Perhaps it is my own arrogance, my own bravado that has brought us here to this crossroads. The question is, where do we go from here? We've spoken of fate, of prophecy. Have I traveled this road too long to turn back? Perhaps I have no choice but to continue on to the end.
Let's see. If you choose to do that, I'll be forced to destroy you. No, I have a solution. I can free you once and for all. Yeah, look, I think we broke him. He's visibly troubled. Try to free him.
Truly, I wish there were freedom for me, but I cannot let go of this life knowing that I might be called back to its pain. No, it seems I have no choice.
On the Vendigroth device, it will sever you from this world forever. You're never going to get called back.
Really? You can
Something like hope flares in his
my
eyes.
soul to the lands of the living. This object can actually do that.
Object can do that? Yeah, I can free you from the pain that you fear.
So many years I've raged against the living. All those years, and distortion was in my own soul. No man can see the nature of his flaws with diseased eyes. The contradiction lies within me.
That's right, Kurgan. Everything is a problem with you. Let me end it. Let me end your journey, Kurgan. Go to your rest.
Yes, I thank you. And I'm sorry. So very, very sorry. Perhaps some souls are born into death. They never knew how to live.
Yes, I think you might be right.
Goodbye, traveler. My road ends here. I wish you luck on yours.
All right, goodbye, Kurgan. And there we go. We just got a Talk No Jutsu ending.
Because of your outstanding efforts in the negotiating of the terms for Caledon's membership into the Unified Kingdom.
Oh. Well, we apparently didn't get the cutscene because I adjusted the volume again. I must fast forward it. Sorry. Oh well. And that is Arcanum, and that is the end of it. I think that I'm probably going to call the stream right here. I know it's short, but I want to not start another game today. However, I did just pick up Sekiro, on sale, so I am going to start playing that one tomorrow. So thanks everyone for watching or lurking, all that stuff. See ya.